Now we deal with the discretionary powers of President and bills requiring the prior approval of the President and who limits the power of President. Then at last we will compare the U.S.A. President with Indian President. Now, discretionary powers of President. The discretionary power of President are those powers on which President can use his power according to his will. President can use discretionary power in case of hung assembly in lower house. When there is no clear mandate to any single party, then President has power to call any single party or a joint party for a PM, Prime Minister candidate. Secondly, when passage of a no confidence motion or failure to pass a confidence motion by the government, then President has the discretionary power to dissolve the Parliament. Next, in death of an working Prime Minister, President has discretionary power to appoint next Prime Minister. When President exercises his pocket veto, this is also his discretionary power. Next, when the President returns the bill for reconsideration to Parliament, this also comes into the discretionary power of the President. Now, there are some bills which require prior approval of President before come on the table of the Parliament. Article 3 tells bills altering the boundaries of state or changing the name of state need a prior approval of President. Similar, Article 17 clause 1 tells all money bill passed by Parliament need a prior approval of the President before presenting to the Parliament. Similar, all financial bills of first category also need a prior approval of our President. Article 19 clause 1 subclause G tells the bill seeking the restriction of freedom of trade, commerce and intercourse also need a prior approval of President. Now, the limitation of President's power. Who limit the President to use his power? Article 53 clause 1 tells the President must exercise these powers according to Constitution. Means President can use his power only according to the Constitution. Means Constitution limits the power of the President. Article 74 clause 1 tells the president shall be exercise these powers only on the advice of Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. All those powers which are used by our president are only on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Article 75, Clause 1 and Clause 3. Clause 1 says, appointment of minister by president only on the advice of Prime Minister. This shows president have no discretionary power in case of appointment of ministers. He can appoint the ministers only on the advice of Prime Minister. Similar, president is bound to advice of Council of Ministers. This is written in Article 75, Clause 3. Now, if we compare Indian president with U.S.A. president and Britain president. In Britain, Crown is the executive head. And if we talk about the president of U.S.A., president of U.S.A. is more powerful than our president because he is real head of his state. He is directly elected by the people. He is not responsible to the Congress of U.S.A. But Indian president is directly elected by the members of legislative assemblies and the parliaments. Hence, he is responsible to the parliament as well as legislative assemblies. And Indian president works according to or on the advice of the Council of Ministers. In this way, we know U.S.A. president is more powerful. He is the real head of his state, but Indian president is the nominal head of our India. Real head of India is Prime Minister. Thank you. We will meet in next video with new topic.